Hey there, welcome back to another mini rant. I'm gonna try to make this as short and as let's say to the point and as furious as possible. Kind of condense my fury down into a little, definitely make it more of an actual mini rant. Um, I just wanted to talk about this because this is a topic that has been kind of building and building and building in my basement, so to speak, for a few years. And I've talked about it before in other videos, but I don't think I've devoted a particular mini rant to it. If I have, I don't remember doing that. But anyway, this is about Twilight Time, this is about Code Red, and this is about Lionsgate's new Vestron video classics or selections series of Blu-rays that they're going to be releasing later this year. And why is this a mini rant? The main thing is there's a serious love-hate thing going on with these type of announcements and with these companies. For example, Twilight Time. For one, I'm glad somebody finally released the Blob remake on Blu-ray and actually managed to put some features on it. That's nice. Same thing goes for the original Fright Night. But there's a catch here, and that's what aggravates me is the catch. It's overpriced, and these Blu-rays by Twilight Time are only available in limited quantities. So it might be 2,000 copies, it might be 3,000, it might be 5,000, but it's a very limited amount of copies that are available. And this is only only a viable marketing, opportunity. It's only a viable business model because I hate to admit it, but it seems like it does work. The Blob sold out within days. The same applies for Fright Night. And but the thing is, this business model does not bode well for the future of home video releases of horror films on Blu-ray or DVD or any other type of movie. It does not bode well at all because this is how the toy collector market got way out of everybody else's price range. This is how you got things like Hot toys, which yes, they look great, but they're overpriced. And they're only able to sell those toys that are like the size like 12 feet tall. They're really tall, articulate, photorealistic recreations of the Rocketeer, Ghostbusters, or whatever, or Batman. Michael Keaton's Batman. These are only able to sell for that ungodly amount of money because people actually do pay it. This is where the problem lies. Because people have been willing to pay for Twilight Time's overpriced Blu-rays and been willing to deal with their limited quantities bullshit, which, by the way, I know why it exists. It's because the studios only give Twilight Time, they only allow them to print limited copies. And I don't understand this. I don't understand why any studio would outsource their Blu-rays to some small company and let the small company keep most of the profit. I don't understand why they would do that. It doesn't make any sense to me. I've heard people explain this to me, and it still doesn't make sense to me. This is the explanation I've heard. Well, companies let Twilight Time do this so that the companies can essentially test out whether or not these certain titles are popular or not, and whether or not they'll make any money if they decide to release their own Blu-ray. But this is my problem here. They give the rights to Twilight Time to distribute the film, and Twilight Time has the rights for at least a few years. So by the time the rights go back to the company, you really don't end up doing I guess you can release it, but most of the time when that does happen, they still don't do shit with it. And excuse me if I was loud there, but this just pisses me off. These studios outsource the Blu-rays to Twilight Time, and then once they do get the rights back, like Christine, they release a Blu-ray that's bare bones. pretty much. With me, I think maybe has the new feature, the old features from the DVD, but no new features. But see, that's the thing. And I don't even know if it even has the features from the DVD. I don't even know for sure. I don't even have the Christine Blu-ray. But it's pretty much bare. It's pretty much nothing new. It's all the old features, if there are any features on it, and they do nothing with it. See, that's the problem. That's what upsets me. This is the same frustration I've had with Universal and Scream Factory years ago, and now finally they've agreed to work with Scream Factory again. Good. I don't know why Universal all of a sudden was like, no, screw you. We want to release our own Blu-rays, and then we do nothing with them, and then okay, we'll give them to you because you obviously know what to do. I don't know why Universal can't do the same things. Is it really that hard to actually uh, get special features together for Blu-ray or DVD releases? Is it really that difficult that the studio can't do it themselves or they can't afford it? I don't buy it. I don't buy it at all. I think they're fucking lazy. So, so when they send it to Twilight Time, okay, the Blob sold out within days. Well, once Sony does get the rights to the Blob back, guess what? We're probably not even going to get the features that were on the Twilight Time release. Because they'll probably just release it bare bones. And see, that's the problem here. If they were gonna release it bare bones anyway, why did they outsource it to somebody else? And it's nice to see that there were some features on the Twilight Time release, but at the same time, there could have been a lot more if, I don't know, Sony allowed Scream Factory to get the rights to it, and then it wouldn't be this limited quantity shit. And that's the other problem here. The thing with it being overpriced and so on, and there's only limited that's where the main problem is. The price, you know, okay, all right, I can kind of deal with that. But it's not with the most recent Lionsgate releases. That's a whole nother story. I'll get to that soon enough. I'm just I'm building up to it. So with Twilight Time, this is just stuff that's been in my basement for a long time. So with Twilight Time, they have this limited quantity shit, and all this does is cater to scalpers, who are the worst scum of the internet as far as I'm concerned. They're right up there with internet trolls. Scalpers who buy multiple copies of a certain DVD or Blu-ray and then sell it for double the price on eBay to make a profit. They don't give a shit about the movie. They don't care about it. All they care about is money. And that is where the problem lies for the future, folks. If this becomes a viable business model, which looks like it actually is, even with Scream Factory started to do this too, where they have this limited edition shit, where it's always a limited, you can you pre-order it limited, it's more expensive, you get 2 extra posters and another slip cover, or you get like a Rufus action figure. They did this with Nightbreed, and I actually paid for it, and I probably shouldn't have, because the third disc really doesn't have that much in terms of extra features. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. I'll save that for whenever maybe I might review Nightbreed. But anyway, so now Scream Factory's starting to do this, and at least Scream Factory does have the option of buying the cheaper, non-limited edition Blu-ray. You can pre-order that, which I did for The Thing, but this kind of stuff does not bode well to me because this is not good. This is what we're gonna get DVDs and Blu-rays that are in the $60, $80, $100 price range 10 years from now, or even sooner than that if this shit continues. That's what I'm talking about. If the studios realize and understand that they can hike up the prices to way more than they should ever be, and they can get away with it, they will keep doing it. And then the limited copies, the limited quantities ones will be the only ones that will be available. The ones that are cheaper, the ones that, any kind of average Joe can afford, well, no. Those will be done away with because the best option, the best way to make money is to have the exorbitantly priced limited edition Blu-ray sets for collectors. And I don't know why they think that collectors are people who are Mr. and Mrs. Moneybags, who are loaded with cash. I don't understand that. Most collectors that I know of, including myself, are people who have a limited amount of money. They don't make millions of dollars, but they still end up spending more than they probably should on these releases because they love these films and they really love collecting Blu-rays and so on. But they're going to get outpriced. And that's the problem. I don't like this trend. If this is a trend, I don't like it. And sadly, it does look like it's becoming a trend with the recent announcement of the Vestron Collector's Edition, whatever, Vestron video releases that Lionsgate is doing of Chopping Mall and Blood Diner. While it's cool that Chopping Mall and Blood Diner are finally getting Blu-ray releases with a new HD transfer of the film, of both films, and special features, which is great. What's not so great is the limited quantity shit. And the crazy high price tag right now. You can pre-order them both for $39.99. And I think this is supposed to come out in September. That's way too high. I'd better go down, because if it doesn't, nobody should be paying that price for one movie. And if you do pay that price, then you're going to make the studios think that this is successful, so then they'll keep doing it. So this is my advice to you collectors out there. As much as you really, really want the Chopping Mall Blu-ray or the Blood Diner Blu-ray, I would honestly recommend not pre-ordering it at the crazy high price of $40 right away. And I would honestly recommend going on Facebook, on Lionsgate's Facebook, telling them, speaking your mind, saying, what are you doing? I don't like this limited quantities crap. Why are you trying to be like Twilight Time or Code Red? You didn't do this before with your Monster Squad releases or your the Wraith releases or the Gate or Night of the Creeps. Why are you all of a sudden doing this? We've been waiting a long time for these releases, but that doesn't mean that we want this to be a limited quantities thing where it's only available for like 10,000 copies or some shit, or even less than that. We really, and the price should go down, and I don't know if I really want to buy this if you're going to charge me that much, and it's going to be this limited quantities thing. And the reason why I suggest you do that is because, like I was saying earlier, if you support this, then you are enabling these studios that continue to use this business model that is catered towards the haves and the have-nots, that's not catered to most of the collector base. It's catered to scalpers who will just buy multiple copies of the Blu-ray because they know that it's rare and they know that it's limited and they know that a market is there, so they're going to corner the market, and then you're going to be stuck with a bunch of people who don't even fucking like the movie buying multiple copies, taking multiple copies away from people who would pay the reasonable price for them, and they're going to charge you up the ass for them on eBay or Amazon, and that's the fucking problem here. If you support this kind of thing, you're supporting that kind of thing. And if you are that type of person who does that kind of stuff, all I gotta say is, I definitely do not respect you, and you're part of the problem. But even if you are the type of person who buys 2 copies, so you can sell one for double the price, make a profit, or not pay anything for the Blu-ray that you bought, I think you're part of the problem too. And I'm being honest here, you might not be a bad person, but realize this. By doing that, you are increasing the chances that in the future, that Blu-rays and DVDs will become a niche thing, will become a limited market thing, where they will cost as much as it would for you to buy a video game brand new, and instead of, when video games when they're brand new, they're not limited usually to like 5,000 copies. They're expensive, but usually everyone can eventually get a copy of it. With this Blu-ray trend that's showing up, that's not going to be the case. And so you either get it then and you have the money then, or you don't. And if you don't, then you're going to have to pay out of your ass to get a copy of it later. From somebody who probably didn't even want the movie, who probably didn't even like it, but they were in it for the money. And that's not what horror DVD Blu-ray collecting should become, in my opinion, is all about making money. It should be about the passion. It should be about people collecting movies and buying films because they genuinely love these movies, or they're really curious and they love horror. Not people who love money. Those are two different fucking things. I love money too, but I don't love money to the point where I'm going to deprive somebody who loves Chopping Mall or the Blob remake of their enjoyment of the Blu-ray because I want to make money. That's the problem here. That's what pisses me off. This limited quantity shit just opens the door up for scalpers. It opens the door up for that shit. And it really corners the market. And that's not a good thing. Absolutely not. You know, I love the fact that Chopping Mall is getting a Blu-ray release and it's getting features. But if that means me supporting it, if me buying it leads to a future where Blu-rays are way too overpriced and they're only available in limited quantities, like these Hot Toys action figures, I'm not going to support it. And I'm putting my foot down right now. I'm not. I'm not supporting this limited quantity shit. Even though I want it, I'm not supporting it. I'll buy it used from somebody later. If that means I have to pay more, fine. And that's sad. That I would love to support Chopping Mall and Jim Warnowski and everyone involved with it with this new Blu-ray, but this limited quantity shit, I'm not supporting that because I don't agree with that principle. It goes against my beliefs. It goes against what honestly how I feel DVDs and Blu-rays should be presented and how they should be sold. And so I'm not supporting it. And if you feel the same way that I do, you shouldn't either. And you should make videos about it saying, "What the hell is this?" Go in and send emails or leave messages on Lionsgate's Facebook saying, this isn't right. And yeah, I know it's a little bit longer. I know I wanted it to be a mini rant, but there's so much I just had in my basement, and it's still small, a shorter rant than most of my other videos are. But my sentiment remains the same here. It's definitely a love-hate thing. I love the fact that some of these lesser-known horror films are getting Blu-ray releases, but I hate the fact that they're only going to be available in limited quantities for way too high of a price. For the same price you can to the same price you pay to pre-order Chopping Mall or Blood Diner on Amazon right now for $40, you can get the most excellent Bill and Ted collection from Shout Factory, the most excellent collection, which has both Bill and Ted movies remastered in an HD, new commentary tracks, the same old commentary tracks from the DVD set, the same special features from the other DVD set, and new feature-length documentaries on the making of both films, including new interviews with Alex Winters and Keanu Reeves. Yeah, Alex Winter and Keanu Reeves, new interviews, a bunch of other stuff. And that's $40. And you get two movies. You get the 3-disc set Blu-ray from Shout Factory for the price of one overpriced Vestron Video Selections $39.99 one movie. For one Chopping Mall or one Blood Diner, you can get two movies and 3 discs total from Shout Factory. Shout Factory, they know their business model, which I don't understand. They're doing the limited stuff, and those do sell, but they also have the opportunity available for you to purchase. And I know I'm repeating myself, and I'm sorry, but I'm just trying to make my point. Put my point across here, and that's what a rant is. It's all over the place. It's all at the top of my head. But anyway, they have those other options available so you can pay for a non-limited edition Blu-ray of whatever movie of your choice. So that's what I'm afraid of, is that if this model is successful for Lionsgate, they're just going to keep doing it. And then it's going to inspire other studios to do this. So, and then eventually maybe Scream Factory will be like, well, all right, we'll save money by not making these other cheaper editions. We'll just start selling the limited editions. And then it'll just be hell on earth for any collector who isn't loaded with cash. And that's that's not a future I want to see. And I don't think that's a future that you want to see either. So anyway, yeah, I don't know what else to say about this, except, man, I'm so disappointed in Lionsgate. I heard about this. I was really looking forward to these Blu-rays, and now they're this limited of quantity shit. They're too expensive. I'm not a fan of this. And I shouldn't be, I should not have been surprised because Lionsgate has been known for pulling like really stupid, unscrupulous shit lately, with the Ninja Turtles DVDs and all that kind of crap. So I shouldn't be surprised. But at the same time, it is still kind of a surprise to me because it just seems like this is starting to become a trend, and that's not good. I don't like this. I do not like this at all. I don't. But anyway, thanks for watching, and as always, I will see you guys later. See ya.